The How Powerful series on my channel has thus far been devoted to the force potential and knowledge a given character possesses that we are analyzing. Because of this fact, the character of Grand Admiral Thrawn may seem like a peculiar pick for this series. For a while, I wanted to discuss Thrawn and how excited I am for his return to Rebels Season 3. I pondered over making a video talking about why we should all be excited, but decided against it as I couldn't think of enough ways to say it's awesome to fill a whole script. So I ultimately decided against this, and decided to do a breakdown of the true extent of Thrawn's abilities, and what exactly makes him quite possibly one of the biggest threats and powerful players in the entire galaxy. Before we begin with Thrawn, I would like to point something out. In Star Wars, it becomes easy to get caught up in all of the fantastical things many of the characters are capable of, but I am always brought back to the scheme of the Sith. The Sith in large part didn't succeed in orchestrating their rise by storming the Jedi Temple and killing all the Jedi with their skill in the dark side. They eventually took a step back and truly pondered on their ancient enemy, the Jedi. By temporarily removing themselves, they saw the flaws and cracks that had formed in the Jedi, and also within themselves. Because of this, they were able to exploit the flaws, but importantly, they took their time, and eventually, it won them the galaxy yet again. This goes to illustrate that the ability to understand and break down your opponent could grant an individual power that even surpasses that to control the Force. Grand Admiral Thrawn is a character capable of such things. Grand Admiral Thrawn was a Chiss, and commonly throughout the Empire, alien species were looked down upon and in many ways mistreated. However, the genius of Thrawn shone through, and Palpatine ultimately decided to instate him as a Grand Admiral. Thrawn was initially ordered to explore the unknown regions and retain information of a growing threat looming beyond the known galaxy. Because of this, he was absent during the Empire's seemingly crippling final blow, which was the destruction of the second Death Star and death of both Darth Vader and Palpatine. Thrawn eventually returned to the known galaxy with his followers and successfully rallied the remaining Imperial leaders. The New Republic then encountered an enemy the likes of which they had never seen. Thrawn instilled his men with a sense of respect and pride. Unlike Emperor Palpatine, Thrawn did not rule out of fear, but instead gave those under his command respect, and as a result, received it back. Thrawn also took into consideration the ideas of his men, and took them to heart, as opposed to just throwing them away as inferior. Because of this, Thrawn's men fought with a ferocity unseen before by most stormtroopers and Imperial officers. Thrawn's men fought because they truly believed in their cause, and were proud to be Imperials, and fight for their Grand Admiral. Thrawn's biggest attribute may have been his ability to predict others. If Thrawn could attain information on any enemy he was going up against, it was almost impossible for them to succeed. By examining and studying what they had been through, along with their past actions, he could accurately determine what they would do in a combative scenario. Because of this, he could often see what they would do, often before they even knew it, and place certain protections and precautions where they needed to be. One example of the brilliance that is Grand Admiral Thrawn is when he was at war against the New Republic. In an effort to completely destroy morale and attack his enemy at its heart, he cloaked asteroids and propelled them towards the planet of Coruscant. Because the New Republic had no idea where the asteroids surrounding the planet were, no one would venture off or onto the planet to deliver supplies, and refused to lower their shields in fear of the asteroids killing millions. Because of this, Thrawn relatively easily formed a blockade to the planet. The way Thrawn went about studying his opponent was often through sifting through various documents based on them and examining their past, but also taking a look at their culture and, most importantly, their culture's art. By examining their art, Thrawn could see what they found beautiful, what they feared, and what they cared the most about. By gathering this knowledge, many of his opponents were beaten long before they stepped on the battlefield. Thrawn was even able to consistently go toe-to-toe with and outwit Force sensitives by utilizing the Salamiri, an animal that negated the Force and made the Force extremely hard to tap into when they were near. Thrawn fought against the New Republic with reduced odds and was able to bring the Empire back from the brink of utter annihilation by once again using clone troopers and using hit-and-run strategies. One-on-one, Thrawn could easily overtake any commander, or anyone for that matter, and he was only finally defeated when one of his own betrayed him, killing him moments before his ultimate triumph. I absolutely adore Thrawn, as he gave us a great villain and one who is different from the more conventional Star Wars villain that we all have pictured. Thrawn showed us that by patience and intelligence he could destroy Jedi and conquer worlds by using simply his intellect. Thrawn is also a fantastic character because he himself was not evil and simply shared different views from others, but his loyalty towards the Empire and its cause led him into conflicts with the New Republic. I cannot wait to see what Rebels has in store for us with Thrawn, but I am a bit worried as Thrawn thus far, for lack of a better term, is a large-scale character, and I hope that they really do him justice. My wishes are that they keep Thrawn relatively the same, and just as he did when he was originally introduced, show us he is not pure evil, and simply motivated by bloodlust, but just shares different views from the Rebels. I hope beyond hope Thrawn becomes a series regular for Rebels, as he is one of the very first Star Wars characters I fell in love with, and showed us all that power can mean many things. Thrawn to me is not simply a character you can defeat in a single season, and I hope that they make him just as feared and yet strangely admirable as they did when he was originally introduced. If you have any other lore topics or questions you want answered, do not hesitate to tweet them at me at StupendousWave on Twitter, or leave a comment below and I will try my best to answer or make a full video dedicated to your topic. Thanks again for watching, may the Force be with you, and have a great day.